everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. My name is Martina, and I will be the moderator of this webinar on behalf of the Master's Degree Selection Platform, UniMy Masters. Our session today is devoted to the varieties of master's programs at KEDGE Business School and the potential to fast forward your career. On behalf of KEDGE Business School, please welcome our panelists today, Camila Roa, she is a Europe Promotion Manager, and Pascal Huarca, he is a current student, and he will give you more insights in a couple of minutes. Your questions are more than welcome, so please type them in the Q&A box, and our guest will give you an answer at the end of this session. The webinar is being recorded, so you will receive a follow-up email with the link to the recording very soon after today. And now I'm giving the floor to Camila.
Thank you, Martina. And first of all, thank you everyone for joining. It's a great pleasure to have you here to talk about the school, to talk about the decision of taking a master's abroad, in this case in France. So first of all, let me introduce myself and my team. My name is Camila. I work in the international promotion team at KEDGE Business School, and I manage Americas and Europe. I'm based in Bordeaux. Well, we have different developers all over the world. We have Martin, which is in Mexico, Prayag, which is in India, Junia, which is in China, and Alice that lives in Marseille, in France. So we have a big team of international promotion, and because we're divided by areas. So if you come from Africa, Middle East, it will be her taking care of you. But if you come from Europe or Americas, it will be me. And if it's in India and in China, the Prayag and Junia. So thanks again for being here. And it will be my pleasure to give you more insight and good information about our university here in France. And let's start. First of all, we have around 38 programs in management. Besides universities in France, we're at École de Commerce. And École de Commerce is like a business school, which our main objective is have programs that are based with management. So we have different options. We have even wine and hospitality, wine and spirits, for example, talking about gastronomy in this part, but all based in management. We have 300 partner companies. We have around 14,800 students, around 23 internationals. We have a big network of alumni because we're the biggest business school in France. So we have around 77,000 students already graduated. And we have a lot of also, if you're interested in creating your company, your startup, we have a business nursery who will help you develop your project and start it from scratch. We have 4 different campuses. The first one is in Bordeaux, which is in the southeast of France, and in Marseille, which is in the south, close to the Mediterranean part. We also have a Paris campus and we have a Toulon campus. Usually the 3 main campuses where international students go in order to do their master's degree or undergraduate programs are Bordeaux, Marseille, and Paris. So this is something really interesting because we have really beautiful campuses, we have really good areas, and they're good student cities. So it rains less, the weather is nice, you're close to the beach, you're close to the ocean. So there's also many options for international students to adapt to the new French country with a good environment and a good student city. We have associated campuses, which means that we are also in other parts of the world. We have 2 in Africa, in Abidjan and Dakar, and 2 in China, in Chuzhou and Shanghai. These ones are usually just for some exchange programs. So our master's degree level for new students are not based here. We have, this is really important, the part of the internationalization of our school. We have around 274 partner universities, 3 entities abroad, 4 entities in France. We have 15 in Africa, Middle East, 49 in Asia, 122 in Europe, 51 in North America, 29 in South America, and 8 in Oceania. This part is like also talking about if you want to do exchange in one of our partner universities, it's possible. We just have to like If you are enrolled in our school, we'll help you do the process if you want to go abroad. This is something I'll talk about, not really into deep detail, but when you come to a grande école in France, the accreditations are pretty important. So we have the Conférence de Grandes Écoles, which is a label that not all, just 1% of students of business schools have it. And we have the triple accreditation, so which means we are triple accredited. This will be really useful for finding a job, for getting a loan, for getting internships, for getting scholarships, because getting to a triple accredited school will also prove and boost your employability later. So the investment you do in order to pay your master's degree will be rewarded if you come to a good school that will help you boost your career and career perspective. We have different masters, and concerning different masters, we have the rankings. So we are the first ones with the KEDGE Universal, which is a ranking in France for international business. First one for wine and spirits management. Sports and event management is the second. Purchasing second, and supply chain second. And then we have the other ones: fifth in marketing, ninth in corporate finance, and third in digital marketing and sales. So this type of rankings also help you when you do your research. It's like you see, I don't know, you want to do international business. So you see in the internet that where you have a good ranking of this school, and then you have another ranking of another school. So you compare prices, you compare the rankings, because this is a good research, a real research of universities. It's not just like, I want to go abroad, and without like doing a research. So the first thing you have to do is look at the rankings. Look how the universities rank, how the program is ranked, what are the requirements, and what are the students that did this program doing later, which is also something really important we have in KEDGE. Is like, we want to know what are our students, where they're doing their internships, where are they working full time, because at the end, this is something that will help us also to know if the program they choose was a good option or not. Employability at the end is also something really, really important. When you choose your master degree, you don't just choose a master just to study. You study also because you want to have a better job, a better well-paid job, a managerial position, a senior position, and you want to grow either in a company, on your own company. So at the end, when you do an investment like this one, like doing a master's abroad, it's not just for having the diploma. It's also to see your employability in the world outside. So if you want to work in France, so what's the requirements to work in France? So if you have a diploma of a business school in France, you have a easier visa process than other universities in other countries in the world. Because if you do your studies here in France, you have like a long stay visa and this and that, which depends on your country. I won't go into detail of each country, but each country has their own exceptions. But at the end, this is something, it matters, and it's something you have to take into consideration. First, the rankings. Second, where do you see yourself working and doing later? Because at the end, a master's can be 1 year, 2 years, but then the work you will be doing is going to be for a longer time. We hope so. So it's not just like for 1 year. It's like, where do you see yourself doing your 6-month internship? Where do you see yourself doing 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? So it's like building your career path with us, having your goals, your dreams, your projection to the future, and how can KEDGE help you get there? When I go back to the how to choose your master, research. This is something I think it's key. It's fundamental for you to have a good selection of your master. Do a research of your options. First, if you have 3 countries in mind, for example, you want to go to the UK, France, and Spain, do a research of the 3 countries, language, prices, weather, how much international students do they have, how easy is the visa process or not, if I do my studies there, can I stay longer? So do all this type of research. Then you stay with one country. So you say, okay, I'll go to France. So what type of master do you want to do? Do you want to do it in English full time, in French full time, or in study and work at the same time with French? A long short track, a 2-year program. So do all your research, So this is something we can help you. We as like commercials at KEDGE, like school advisors, like to tell you, okay, you have this profile of you did engineering in, I don't know, in Morocco. So you can do supply chain, which is 1 year program that will boost your employability in France. So we can suggest options, and you'll be either you either accept or say, oh no, I better do something else. I will try to assist you, solve your questions, and help design your professional, your academic and professional project till the future. Also, something that's in order to have in mind is that our programs, either the long track or the short track, you can do internships. What is an internship? An internship is a 6-month contract where you enter a company and you'll be learning. You are an intern. You have another salary. You are still a student, so it's not like a full-time job. But at the same time, you'll be working with people that will be teaching you, you'll be learning, you'll be seeing if you like this sector or not. So I think doing an internship is pretty important and crucial in order to decide if you want to stay in that sector or stay in another one. So that's also something I suggest you see yourself doing a research. If you want to do an internship in L'Oreal, then you can do it. But which are the programs that can take you to that internship? Either data analytics, marketing, international business, logistics. So do a detailed explanation of where do you see yourself doing an internship, and then a short and long term. Also important to have into consideration is that when you enter to a business school, for example, as big one as KEDGE Business School, you're going to be part of the KEDGE alumni. The KEDGE alumni are like networking, the networking of students that have done KEDGE, either in Paris, in Marseille, or in Bordeaux. You'll be connecting with people from everywhere, people who are living in Lisbon, people who are living in Latin America, people who are living in Africa, people who are living in India, in China. So it's like a big networking where you want to like support each other since you come from the same school, and it's part of the what we suggest to do to our students and people who will be graduating from KEDGE. Build your network, use LinkedIn, use your communicational skills, ask, and it will be part of the process. Now I'm going to leave the word to Pascal, which is one of my students I recruited last year. He comes from Austria, and I'll ask him some questions, and he'll be glad to share some insights about his experience as being a M1 student of banking and finance. And in September, he'll be doing his M2 of banking and finance, and his life in Bordeaux. So I welcome you, Pascal. Thanks for being here. I don't know, we can see you, I think, because since I'm sharing my screen, I don't see anyone. So hopefully we can see Pascal. So yes, Pascal, do you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. So, well, Pascal, thank you again for giving us your time. I know you're working in your internship right now, so thank you a lot. I wanted to ask you if you can tell our future students or potential students that are interested in KEDGE, why did you choose banking and finance, and what did you study before coming to KEDGE?
Okay, so to start with, thanks for the introduction. And yeah, I'm doing banking and finance, the first and the second year, of course. Why finance? What did I do before? Before I studied in Munich, I did the bachelor in economics there. And economics was pretty sure for me during school already, because it's my major interest. And during the bachelor, I had the opportunity to work for an asset management company in Munich. So in Germany, there exists a special contract for students. It's called working student, and you can work up to 20 hours a week during the semester. And I did it. And during that period, I noticed that I really want to work with financial markets, but in order to do so, it's also important or necessary to do a master specializing on banking and finance. So KEDGE offers banking and finance, which is pretty interesting. The first year was very interesting as well, because we have a lot of different specializations at KEDGE. And in the first year, you share many courses also with other specializations. So for example, we had corporate finance only for banking and finance, or financial markets. And what we did share was something like public speaking, which is also very important afterwards. And yeah, so that's why I study banking and finance right now.
Okay, thank you. And tell me, and tell us, how was the, because now you're doing your internship for your M1, which was like an optional. This is not mandatory, but we can see you're working right now. So tell us a little bit about how you did your research of finding this company, and what are your main missions here in Widowin in Bordeaux.
Yes, so the main idea was to stay in Bordeaux over the summer, as majority of our students, I guess, because summer in Bordeaux is something very amazing. I guess you don't have to go on vacation somewhere else, because you have the sea just 50 kilometers from here. And the research was basically that I asked at first a professor of us, because I'm not a French native speaker, which companies in Bordeaux he would address as a non-French speaker, or as a not very fluent French speaker, which is very important, because otherwise you put a lot of effort in your applications and afterwards they just refuse it because you don't speak French very fluently. So I asked the professor at first, and second, I searched in all the softwares that are possible for finance, for financial markets, but also for corporate finance in Bordeaux for internships. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, and how was the interview process? Was it difficult? Was it easy? How do you felt about it?
I guess I'm very lucky if I compare to other students, other international students, because the company I'm now working for, they didn't really search for interns. So not actively, there was nothing on the website or on any websites for jobs. So it was a spontaneous application, I guess. And it was more or less a match, because it's a growing company and the team itself, it's growing. So I'm now at Gestion Privée. That's consultancy of asset allocation and portfolio, more or less just for retirement portfolios, also just for retirement portfolios. And as it's growing, the infrastructure of the company also grows, and they did not have a lot of Excel codes or VBA codes on optimization processes. So that's what I'm doing mainly, and I'm happy to be able to code, because otherwise, I guess I would not have been accepted.
Okay, this is good. And I wanted also to ask you, how was your what main difference of being a student here in France, in Bordeaux, in KEDGE, and being a student in Munich?
The difference? Sorry, my Wi-Fi is not that good.
Yes, difference. Yeah, like the main things you found different from one university in Munich and KEDGE.
Yes, but the university in Munich was the Ludwig Maximilians University, and for example, for economics, it's apart the top 3 universities in Europe and the best in Germany. So it's a way bigger university, first of all. I don't know how many students there are in total, but only for economics, we had 600 in the first semester. And for example, for the corporate economics, like just for business administration, they started with 1,000 or 2,000 in the first semester. And then there's also psychology, medicine, and all the stuff. So it's way bigger. In line with that, student associations are way bigger and more connected. But as it was during COVID, so I started in September 2018, bachelor in Munich, and I moved in summer to Munich. and just after one semester, everything was online. So it's hard to compare because majority of the bachelor was in front of my computer, and right now everything is at the university itself. But that was very important for me, as during my research for the master, there was still the COVID issue 1 year ago in winter 2021, 22. And so I really focus also this research on universities that say we do everything at the university and not online. And so Munich is quite nice. It's very young, so that's good comparable to Bordeaux. Students drink a lot of beer in Munich as well as in Bordeaux, but in Bordeaux it's more expensive to beer, unfortunately. And the major difference, of course, is Germany and France. So it's different languages, different cultures, but I kind of like both.
Thank you so much, Pascal. I think this is valuable information, especially because we have your insights, we have your experience, we have your testimony, and it's not just me talking about the school. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. And guys, if you have any question to Pascal specifically, you can write it in the Q&A, and I think we can answer them at the end of this presentation. But thank you again, and we'll continue with the presentation.
Thank you.
So concerning about the promises of our school is to encourage you to learn by doing, which is something we do a lot in the, how you say, the pedagogical system of the school, which means that you'll have a lot of group projects. You have a lot of real cases of companies coming to the school, talking about something they're facing, something they want to solve. Most of our teachers are working also in companies, so that's why this is something really something to consider, because we have teachers that are working in a real company most of their time. So they bring the real situation, they know the updates, they know what's going on in the market, they know how is, I don't know, the economics affecting the inflation. So these type of things are pretty important in order to consider when choosing a school. How are the teachers? What are the level, PhD, research studies, and everything? I want to talk about the M2 program structure, which is like, this is the short track. This is for students that have done around 4 years of studies or more in their home country. For example, me, I come from Colombia. I did 4 years and a half of my bachelor studies, and I did an M2 of marketing here in France. So the division of the programs of semester 1, semester 2, and then a 6-month internship. At the same time, you have to do your thesis. So this is something where when you consider, it's like about timing, how much time you want to spend doing your master's, 2 years, 1 year. This is also something you have to research, because time is money. So if you have longer time because you want to spend more time, like, okay, I want to do a 2-year program like Pascal, you can do it. But if you have a 4-year studies bachelor, you can do M2 directly. I'll talk about the programs briefly, because the idea is that if you are really interested into KEDGE, you book an appointment with us, and we'll be helping you more in detail. We'll be checking your CV. You will be telling us where did you study, what are your interests. We'll help you do your choose your program. But also, I want to give a general insight of the masters we offer here at KEDGE. We have in the area of marketing, we have marketing in the 3 campuses in Paris, Bordeaux, and Paris. We have digital marketing and sales, just in Marseille. We have MIE, purchasing and innovation, just in Bordeaux, and international sports and event management, just in Marseille. We have 3 different finances. We have banking and finance here in Bordeaux, which is the program Pascal is doing. We have corporate finance in Marseille and sustainable finance in Paris. We have wine and spirits management in Bordeaux and wine and hospitality in Paris. We have data analytics for business in Bordeaux, international business in the 3 campuses, business engineer, which is a new program in Paris, arts and creative industry management in Paris, business transformation for sustainability in Paris, and Eastleigh supply chain here in Bordeaux, and international trade and logistics in Marseille. So this is like an overview of all the masters we have, all the programs we have. We can see we have a really big variety of programs. Not a lot of schools offer this big amount of portfolio of programs. So we try to cover most of the areas, but also keeping in mind management is our key factor. We won't be like arts and creative industries is a management program of arts. It won't be just like painting and drawing. No, it's with management, with how the art industry works. How can we make it? How can we integrate a company? How can we build our own company? So we try always to have the managerial part really, really in the loop. These are also the KEDGE Bachelor Master of Science programs, which are the ones I already explained you, but they're divided by campuses, so Marseille, Bordeaux, and Paris. In total, we have around the 15, which is a good number. And this is something I also suggest you in order to, when you start looking for schools, is like, for example, what is the projects this school is participating? Do they have incubators? Do they have entrepreneurship programs? What are the innovation part of this school that makes it different to others? What makes it different from other business schools in France? So you have also like something that will make you different in order when you start your school and when you choose a school like this one, because at the end you'll be doing an investment. You'll be moving to a different country, to a different city, and most of the time you'll be here at school. So it better you have that your decision of coming to this school has the needed information and the support information. You can say yourself, I choose KEDGE because of this. I choose KEDGE because they have 10 startups. I choose KEDGE because they have one entrepreneurial school, the business nursery. There is a big high employability rate. So all these key factors are part of the decision making when choosing a good school. We promote entrepreneurship, the business nursery, the business schools, accelerator, fundraising, entrepreneurial school. So this is people who want to build their own company. Instead of doing your thesis, your internship, you can create your own company. So there's projects that you will be accepted. There will be people who will be helping you. So this is also to be considered when choosing KEDGE. We want also to be more, right now we see that inclusivity and sustainability is something that is making the schools different from one another. We have a policy of no goodies, no merchandising, which is pretty different to other schools. The idea is to spend less and also to pollute less. No plastic bottles, no pens. So this part is also of the atmosphere of the school. We want you to also have this in mind when you are choosing a company or living in your house, is how can you help the environment? How can we make it better? How can we be more respectful? And this will be absolutely part of the ambitions and terms the school respects. So in order to apply, this is something we'll be helping you, but I will explain it briefly. You need to have your CV, an updated CV in English. Everything's in English or in French. If you speak an English of B2, this is perfect because you will be eligible for an interview. You have to have your passport, your last diploma of your university, your transcripts, an exam of English. This is also a key factor. Now, maybe later we'll be accepting Duolingo. So if you have Duolingo, have that into consideration. And then you can pay the fee of 120 euros to get your application reviewed by admission. You let us know if you need us to check your documents, to check your motivational parts. This is something we can do, and we'll be doing it for you if you want to apply to our school. So, well, this is almost the end of my presentation, but to recap a little bit is that when you decide the school you want to be in, when you decide where do you want to study, where do you want to live, what do you want to do, make sure you do your research. Make sure you won't regret your decision, and make sure it's also something you'll be glad and happy when deciding it, because it's a life-changing decision. It's something that the person that comes in September won't be the same person that will be leaving into their internship in June. So I think having this into mind, doing your research, asking us, asking actual students will also help the process. So I think this is it of my part. So if you have, we can start a 15-minute questions and I'll be happy to answer. Martina, I'm not able to read the questions, so if you can tell me we have any questions, I can answer them, or Pascal.
Hello from me again. Yes, we have a couple of questions. So one of the questions is, do you have scholarships? If so, are they fully funded or partially funded? What is the criteria that is?
Usually
Yeah.
we have, for early applicants, we have the early bird. The early bird is at 10% off the total price of the master's. So this is almost 2,000 euros just for applying before a certain date. We also have excellence and merit scholarships. These ones are 2,000 and 4,000 euros. The merit and the early bird can be added together, and the excellence and the early bird can be added together. So in total, you can have even like almost 6,000 euros scholarships, counting these two scholarships. What are the requirements? Having a good CV, having a good professional background project, knowing where do you want to do, what do you want to study, why this program. It's practically doing well in the interview, and also your grades. If you have like really not outstanding grades, but like respectful and things, you're still eligible. But also we take into consideration the interview.
Thank you for answering this one. Another question I can see, it is for Pascal, I guess. How long have you prepared in order to feel confident enough to apply?
To apply for the master's?
To apply for the master's, I guess that this is the question, to apply for the master's in KEDGE.
Well, the motivational letter and the CV should be almost the same. Like your own motivation should be almost the same for every application, for every university. It takes, like, how long does it take to write a good CV? And with someone else having to have a look at it, maybe 1 or 2 weeks. And the most time I spent on the answers during the application process of KEDGE. It's like a online file where you need to fill out 3 or 5 questions on your main motivation, and this took of course most of the time. But I would say 1 or 2 weeks, and after you're done.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And one more question I can see, Pascal, that is for you. Is there specific clubs you joined during the degree, and how this help you?
Yes, of course. So there are a lot of student associations, if this is meant by clubs, and KEDGE offers a wide variety of different ones. And as an international student, I can just recommend it, because usually this is a thing just mainly for the French speaking, and you only speak French in an association, which speeds up the process of integrating not only into the region, but also in the university life, as well as accelerating your improvement of the language, of your language skills. So, and I joined the Finance Association of KEDGE, but I also applied for another one that is producing own honey. So it's the Bee Association at KEDGE, and which is also a very nice project, I would say. And yeah, but I just afterwards decided to join just one club or one association, because you need to spend some time also with the tasks you have there.
Awesome.
Yes, True.
Thank
There's
you.
a lot of associations and also sports associations, wine associations, theater associations. So I think there is really a association environment here at KEDGE. And yeah, and Pascal makes part of the finance association.
Awesome. Thank you for answering this one as well. We have a question. Does KEDGE help with visas for candidates outside EU?
Yes, we do. Especially when you get accepted to our school, we give you a visa letter. When you pay the deposit, when you sign your contract, and when you say, okay, for example, me, Camila, I'm from Colombia, I'm coming to KEDGE, we give you a visa letter and we'll assist you with the details of how to apply to a visa with Campus France. It depends of your country. So I know in Latin America works different as it works in Africa or India or in the Middle East, but we make sure we give you the information you need, the documents Campus France ask, the tools we can ask you, we can provide you and assist you the most with the visa. At the end, we don't decide the visa. No, this is something apart, like not in our control. But we'll try to give you all the needed information for you to get it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your detailed answer. Another question I can see is from someone interested in Masters in Management, and he or she asks, how many countries are represented in this program, if you have such information?
Well, I
Or
won't
maybe
say.
you can say more about the diversity in the Masters programs,
Yes.
if you have such information, yeah.
Well, for example, since this year for the Master in Management, which is the program Grande École, we have a new method of entering. Before we used to ask for a GMAT. Now we don't ask for a GMAT. We have an internal KEDGE test. So this internal KEDGE test has helped more international students to enter this year. We have nationalities from China, India, Latin America, Spain, Italy, Morocco, Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire. So there's a lot of nationalities concerning this program, especially because it's in English and it's like an equivalent to an MBA. But we'll see in September how many nationalities we make it through. But concerning like the diversity of our own team, like you can see we have Prayak, which is from India, Junia, which is from China, Midam from Colombia, and the French Annalise and my manager Emerick, which is from French. And also we have Elvira, she's in charge of Ukraine and Russia and all the European south northern west part. So this is something you can see from the team. It's really diverse. So this is the same we want to see in the classes. So we have different nationalities. I don't have the number exact, but there is a variety.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering this one as well. And there is a question, what are the class sizes? If you have such information, maybe it is interesting to the audience. And what are the networking events held by KEDGE?
Okay. The size classes, we have auditoriums, but we also have small classes of 30 and 40 students. Pascal, maybe if you can help me, because I've never been like a student at KEDGE, but if you can help me more with the size of the classes and the number of students per class, it would be awesome, because yeah, I just see the students in the corridor and in the cafeteria. So for me, it's not detail about the size of the classes.
Yes. So in the M1 overall, I don't know how many we are, but I would guess 200. That's just guessing. But in the banking and finance M1, we've been 17. So through the specialization classes like corporate finance, you're just 17. And in the other class that I shared with the whole M1, I would say it's between 20 and 30.
Okay, perfect. And about the networking events, we have job dating. We have some companies that come at KEDGE when there's like a career fair weeks. We have some programs specifically organized afterwards with companies. So they see like what they want to look for their next intern. So they do these type of events depending on the program. We have companies like Nestle and L'Oreal that come to do conferences, and they do interviews like one B2 directly with students, and these students already have an internship in Paris. So it depends a little bit of the program, but there's a lot of connections with back and forth with companies. And even though, for example, Pascal, he was a teacher who help him with this company. So we try to assist and be really open in order to have the transparency between a company and the students at KEDGE. So there's some events, forums, some conferences, some visitors that come to KEDGE, depending on the program and also depending on the time of the year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering this one as well. I believe that we have answered all of the questions in the Q&A box for now. Of course, everyone, if you have any other questions, feel free to type them. We have some more time for answering your questions. Meanwhile, I would like to thank to both of you for joining us today and taking of your time in sharing this really interesting and insightful information. I believe that we helped to the audience today in making their decision about applying at KEDGE.
Yeah, thank you, Marina. Thank you. It's nice to talk to potential students. It's nice to talk about the school. And Pascal and me, we've been there. We've been international students. We have studied in France. So this is something also we want to encourage you. If you have your dream in order to study abroad, do it. And we'll try as a school, as KEDGE, to assist you the best we can. Please take our contact, international@kedgebs.com. If you're more interested to know about booking an appointment, having a personalized like checking of your profile of what you want to do and everything of coaching, feel free. And yeah, so I think this is most of it of the presentation. And please remember international@kedgebs.com or our detailed email.